What's up, people? Vintage Zach here. Today I'm gonna be thrifting the back roads of Pennsylvania, trying to find some cool shirts, picking up anything cool I find. I'm going to a few stores that are 2 hours away from me, so I'm gonna see if I can find anything cool. And thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I'm trying to get this account started, so thank you guys for watching. I just wanted to show this real fast. This sign says now hiring large chicken wing. That's hilarious. I think I'm just gonna start showing random things that I see on the side of the road that I think are interesting. That's just like a super random, stupid thing, but just got out of the second store. Here are some of the things that I found. This late 90s Nike silver tab crew neck, size XXL. Try to pick those up every time. They're pretty easy sell. Found this horse shirt. I'm a sucker for animal shirts. Not single stitched, but definitely vintage. I found this garden shirt. Here's the tag. This one is single stitch. I just think it's kind of cool. It's like a kind of a grandma shirt, but I like the design. Found this vintage Penn State sweatshirt on a pretty old Ultra Sweats tag. So it might even be from, it's probably early 90s, honestly. This one's probably my favorite. 4th of July is coming up. It's a Bear Ridge fleece. It has stars on the sleeves, and on the back it has a flag. Super sweet. I always pick up random college sweatshirts even if I don't really know what they are. This one's pretty old too. It's probably from the late 80s. Here's a Penn State boxing crew neck. It's on this thick jerseys tag, which means it's probably from the late 90s or early 2000s. So I thought that was kind of cool. And lastly, I found this Nike center swoosh, Florida. This is like a early 2000s, late 90s Nike tag. Has a couple marks though, so I'll probably have to give that a good wash. Hopefully they come out. Nothing on the back. Just got out of the last store. I would have taken another video after the last few stores, but it started pouring down rain. So I actually ended up hitting 5 more stores. So I got a lot of stuff. This was probably one of my best days in a while. So I'm gonna take a quick video of the stuff just on the ground outside of my car to kind of show real fast what I got. But later on in the video, I'll go more in depth back at my place on each piece and show you the tag and everything. But I just want to get it out there and show you right now what I have. So here's all the stuff I picked up today. I'm just going to go through it real fast, but I'll go back through it at my apartment later in the video, showing off the tags and everything. All right, I'm back in my apartment now, so I'm gonna show off everything I found today. Found so much good stuff, so I'm really happy to show it off. Um, First thing, I found a couple of these vintage Rolling Rock shirts. Has Rolling Rock on the sleeve, and this old Fruit of the Loom heavy tag. I'm really liking these tags lately. I've been finding a lot more of those. Actually, at the first store, I found this, and I forgot to show it in the outside clip. But it was funny because I found that at the last store, so I had to pick up the green one just because I found this other one first. Not really sure what the 33 is for. Might be a type of beer, but next, probably my favorite finds of the day are these vintage satin jackets. Buffalo Bills stuff sells pretty well online, so if you're ever out looking for that, I'd say keep an eye out for that. Nothing on the back. They really messed this up though with the tag. They put it right through the kind of the side of the jacket, but it's a chalk line. It's kind of small, but I think it's a men's medium. I'm not completely sure. They usually fit kind of like short anyway, so that's probably why it looks small. And then I found another one. This one's probably the better one. Has NFL on the sleeve. Really cool sleeves. And this one's actually a starter. But this one is a lot cleaner than the other one too. Definitely. They were all together. And I was hyped to find them. And here's the last one. Pirates. And this is another starter. Usually these ones are from the 80s whenever it doesn't actually have the star on the tag. They weren't using that as heavily. Like, it's still on the sleeve, but the older starter just has the starter font. So if you see that on a tag, that's pretty good indication that's from the 80s. Right next to all those jackets, I found this Carhartt. Now, I always pick up Carhartts no matter what, pretty much. Well, as long as it's in a men's size, it's a pretty sure bet. But this one is kind of crazy. It's almost like a Patagonia with the fleece. And it's got I think it's a 3M Carhartt. When I first saw it, it was unzipped a little bit. And it has this Yukon Extremes. And I thought it was like a company's embroidery that they usually do. But I'm happy it wasn't. They were charging $25 for it. But rule of thumb for Carhartts is just, if it has anything kind of different or unique about it, that's not just a normal, like that tan color Carhartt, I'd say pick it up. Even a tan colored Carhartt, they sell pretty well too, but if it has like a flannel lining, like a blanket on the inside, if it has if it's like a denim jacket, pretty much Carhartt is a good thing to pick up no matter what. So I thought I would take this gamble, but I mean, it seems like a super high quality jacket, and it's size XL too, so it's a good size for a Carhartt. Found a bunch of random tees. Yeah, I don't have this sorted out in any order. So, you know, this low-key mountain. These mountain tees are becoming more desirable lately because, especially when they have this leather tag. That's just because they use this tag until like 2003 or something. So all the older ones are now vintage. Not sure if it has a date on it or not. Usually it does, yeah. 2000. So it's vintage now. Still a cool tee. Found this vintage Russell Athletic Steelers Pro Line from 1995. This is a really good tag to look out for. They're pretty common, especially I found a lot of blanks with this, but they're really good quality, so people look for them. Yeah, and I even pick up the blanks sometimes just because a lot of people like to print their clothing on vintage blanks, and I'd say it's probably like the best vintage blank to put it on. Besides maybe like one of the Fruit of the Looms or something, but definitely a good tag to look out for. I showed, I think either this shirt or I showed something similar. Found another garden shirt. I just really liking them. They're pretty low key, you know, kind of grandma style. No tag on this one, but say probably late 90s. Next up is a vintage gray tag Nike, or not gray tag, silver tag, my bad. Size extra large. These go pretty good. Definitely cop them if you see anything like this out. They're really nice quality, and the embroidery is really nice. This Champion sweatshirt was right next to the Nike one that I just showed, and I just decided to pick it up because it's super thick. This tag is usually from the 90s. It doesn't say Champion anywhere on the front, but it does have on the sleeve. And everybody just loves a good Champion sweatshirt, especially the older ones. It's nice and thick, so once it gets steamed, it'll be a lot nicer. Next up is, I don't even know what to call this type of material or like this type of sweatshirt, but basically this thick, like almost blanket-like top. It says Allegheny National Forest on it. I've been finding these a lot, and I don't usually buy them, but I kind of dig them. And especially with this embroidery on the front, I thought that maybe it would be a good gamble for my first one I buy and see if any of my followers want it or anything. But yeah, definitely a cool piece, like especially for like a summer night or like going to the beach. Like, this is perfect. Next is this Logo 7 Chicago Bulls windbreaker. I don't find Bulls stuff that often, but when I do, I usually pick it up if it's vintage, just because there's so much hype around, you know, Jordan and Rodman and everything else that people really look for this. And the back is pretty cool. Nice embroidery. Solid piece for sure. And it's XL. Here's another Steelers piece. Honestly, the reason I picked this up is it's kind of like nothing too special. You know, I feel like I find things like this all the time. But just this tag is awesome. I find Penn State stuff with this tag all the time, but I don't usually find Steelers stuff like this. So I gave it a shot, you know. It's probably like it's like a $20 or $25 item, but still cool nonetheless. It's not really a summer item either. I feel like as the seasons change, I don't buy and then buy different things, so it takes a lot for me to buy something like this in the summer, just because I know it'll be a harder sell. And like including like those jackets, they're really special, so that's why I bought them. But I think I could tell in the thrift stores that a lot of people weren't looking at the jackets this time of year, because there were just a lot more higher quality items. Like as you get closer to winter, like that section starts dying down and the t-shirts get better. So it's just kind of like this. You just gotta look through the whole thrift store. Found this Dallas Cowboys crew neck. It's on Lee, so late 90s pretty much. Could be mid 90s, but it's probably late 90s. Here's a cool embroidered Walt Disney World shirt. It's on this Disney Originals tag. Super thick. And large, extra large, but usually when it says like one size or large, extra large, it only fits like either massive or just like a weird size, but this one probably fits at least an extra large. It's single stitch. Oh no, it's double stitch, but definitely the 90s. Next up is a cool vintage Guess piece. I was just thinking to myself the other day that I haven't found any Guess in a while. And here's the tag. It's a cool old one. It's a cropped shirt, so it's for women. But yeah, single stitch at the bottom too. I was just thinking, like, the striped Guess shirts were so popular a couple years ago, and a lot of people are finding them. But lately, I haven't seen anyone post about them at all, and I feel like people still would post if they found them. So I wonder what happened to all of them. I don't know if they just all got bought up like right when they got popular, but yeah, it's my first Guess piece in a long time. It's still really white, and the embroidery is pretty clean. Here's a cool shirt. It's from a London museum. It's marked 1994. I haven't done any research on the shirt at all, but I thought the graphic was really cool. Board of Trustees of the Victoria and Albert Museum. So I always pick up art tees if I find them, but I don't find them that often. Yeah, this one's single stitch too. There's nothing on the back. Just a cool piece of art. Found a couple Tundra, Coogee style sweaters. They're right next to each other. There were actually a couple more that I didn't grab, just solely because, like I was saying earlier about picking up different things in the seasons. I just didn't want to get stuck with a bunch of sweaters, but I picked out the coolest ones. This one's kind of crazy. The thing about actual Coogees that's cool is that the stitching kind of goes onto the sleeve, like it's all one piece, but these you can tell they had the arms separate from the body, but it's still a cool alternative. I mean, these are kind of crazy sweaters. Here's the other one. This one's more like a Coogee. Here, so this one, see how the fabric goes onto the sleeve. That's kind of how actual Coogees are, but definitely a cool alternative. The similar quality. It's like the fabric is like sticking out, like it's kind of 3D. Also found this sweater or sweatshirt. I just love these kind of nature shirts. Like, just nobody makes stuff like this anymore. And it's just so unique. Like, you'll never see somebody else wearing this. But, yeah. Here's another cool shirt I found. This is probably the most random find of the day. This shirt, I didn't really know what it was, but I just knew that this is the Bat Kid or the Bat Child. There was like a fake article from like a shady magazine or newspaper that said that there's like a Bat Kid found in a cave, and this is the image in like the negative. And I wasn't sure if this is from that or not. I mean, the shirt is vintage, so it does fit the time period, but I have no idea what the text means. And I tried looking it up. I couldn't find too much. So if you know anything about it, let me know in the comments. I have no idea what it is, but it was too cool to pass up. And it's single stitched, and it's on the classic tag that I really like. Here's the last shirt I'm going to show off. I found a couple more random things, but I don't want to make this video too long or anything, but this vintage Star Trek shirt. All I need to know about life I learned from Star Trek. I just thought this was pretty interesting. It's on a Hanes beefy tee from the mid 90s. See if it has a date on it. Yeah, 1994. It's overall a cool tee, and it was so random. It was one of the stores I went to where I didn't find a single other thing, and it was just randomly on the rack. So I'm not sure if someone put it back or what, but just a cool shirt, you know. It's just I just think it's a cool thing to like hang on the wall or something. You know what I mean? Especially like I'm not too into Star Trek or anything, but it's still something cool to like show off. So I had to pick it up. Okay, so that's everything. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be putting out videos weekly. I'm going to try to really grind at this. And let me know in the comments what I should improve, if you have any video ideas or anything else. And follow me on Instagram, Vintage Zach. And I post some of my finds beforehand on that page as I find them in the thrift store. So if you want to see pictures of them actually in the thrift, because I don't really film inside or anything, just go check that out. And thank you guys for watching. See ya.